Hi guys, sorry about that. So we are back. Oh my goodness, I'm telling you, things I got to do to go live. Oh my word. So that's the video. So let's go back to this one. Go live. Uh, am I on live? I think so. What the heck's going on here, guys? Just gonna hang on. Go back to my live and see if it's got a live video there. Okay. Okay, just wanted to make sure I was live. Well, good morning, guys, and welcome to the channel, Ron's Keto Cafe, and I'm Ron. Well, if you're new, welcome, and if you're a returning member, welcome back. And if you're a new member, could you please share, like, and smash that subscribe button? It definitely helps the channel. And before we get started, I'm not a medical doctor. I don't make any medical claims. This is all based on my own personal journey. So I tried to do a live video a couple of seconds ago. What happened was I was live and I was just messing around with the links up top. I had about 6 browsers open because I do multiple work on the computer. And I accidentally closed all the browsers by mistake and it shut off my live video. So I rebooted it to do a new live segment. So here we are. Well, today is March 30th. We got one more day to go to the end of the month. And happy early Easter if you celebrate Easter. Donna and I are going to have a nice regular ham dinner with the regular patio, and I have corn and cranberry sauce, and I dress my ham with pineapple, and nothing else changes because that's what we like. And I keep it simple that day and try to keep the carbs down low as I can, other than the potato. And then on April, there will be switching over to carnivore and keto for the weekend haul. But yeah, so I'm just letting you know it's going good. Donna and I went to bingo last night up in New Hampshire with a friend Jackie and Diane. Now, Donna got in for $1,200 last night. Boy, she came like whiskers away of getting that coverall. She needed G56 for the longest time. They must have called about 5 numbers, and the last G that they called was G57, and then a number after that took it. She would have gotten it by herself because it was like about 5 or 6 winners, and they each got $200 a piece out of that coverall. But Donna definitely would have gotten it by herself because she had gotten in really quick. And but that she won $10 door prize, and they gave her a charity ticket. Hey, good morning. How you doing, Shirley? And yeah, so I'm just letting you know everything's going good. We went to bingo last night in New Hampshire, done a 110 on the door prize plus 10. They give you a door prize with a stack of tickets. You get $10 worth of free tickets, and she had a $10 bill wrapped up in around an elastic band. That's how they do it in New Hampshire. And she didn't win anything other than that, but she waited for $11.99, and she 56, and they called like about 5 numbers, and she didn't get it. And then the next number took the cover all, and there was like 5 winners. Now we went up with her friend Jackie and Diane last night, and they each won. They each won $5.99, and she got it. One of her sisters got she got the cover all that Donna was waiting for, so she got $200 on that one because there was multiple winners, and her friend Jackie won a couple of times besides that. But they're lucky up there; they go down there all the time. I can't afford to go there, but I usually volunteer on Friday nights, and I just needed a night off and a night, run night, and because it was Good Friday, the church, they don't have bingo on Good Friday, so oh cool, let's go down to bingo and go down and just I played 36 cards, Don played 36 cards, and I played on the computer machine, and as a matter of fact, I bought an extra strip of papers for us to play on because the machine can be boring if you just sit there and watch the machine. You don't have to do anything else. And she was waiting on the paper strip that I had bought her. But and then she was telling us about this lady up there. She won like $85,000 there a couple of weeks ago. They were on one of the cover off. She got the progressive, in a certain amount of numbers or less. And I go, boy, can you imagine winning something like that at the bingo hall? But we had fun. We got home about 10:30, and I was really tired last night. It was really, really windy out in the city last night, and I just couldn't. So but I slept good. Today is nice, bright and sunny. We got nice, bright and sunny days for a few days, thank goodness. And then we got some more rain coming in towards the middle part of the week. So I'm planning on going out for a walk this afternoon. And I don't know where yet, but we need to go back to the grocery store because I forgot to buy the dinner rolls for tomorrow. And I got to get the cat some more little push-up treats that he likes. And yeah, so starting in the month of April, I decided to make a new playlist called Shackles for Life. And every day in the month of April and beyond. I'm going to try to get a new chapel recipe up there. Now, I already got 4 recipes up there already for each day, and I'm going to be consistent on the time. So you could be looking for them at a certain time. They're going to be going on every day at noontime. So I already got 4 chapel recipes. And the first one is just basically easy peasy chapel. Well, they're all easy peasy, the ones that are coming up. And it's made with the ultra thin Sargento cheese, and I really like that cheese because it's paper thin, and when you pull it off I did the first one I did a provolone. So what I did was I took the 3 eggs and I whisked them, and then I put a slice of cheese on the mini dash, and then I put some simple seasonings into the egg, and then I put the other cheese on top of it and closed the lid, and then 3.5 minutes later you got a nice little chapel. And I made like 4 of them, and for that particular recipe and morning cow. And then I ended up on the next recipe, I did a coconut flour one. That was really good. That tasted more like a bready texture. And so what I did was I took some of that good jam that they have. You can get that at Hannaford's or through Amazon. I had seen it in Market Basket yet, but they have, I'm trying to eat healthy now, because I've been plateauing out as far as non-scale victories now for the whole month of March and for the last few months. And but they got different variety, different ones. They had I got one that was like a peach or like a marmalade one, and they got like a jam one with a jelly jam and a grape jelly. They had about maybe half a dozen different ones, and I've tried them all. When I first ordered it, I ordered them on Amazon, and then I realized that they sell them at Mount Hanover, and I didn't realize that until I was working there last year, and so I ended up, I got to get some more of that, and then and they're not that expensive. And then on my third one, I did a pickle chapel recipe. I took some regular store-bought pickles and I just patted them dry on a paper towel, and then I laid them on top of the dash, and then I closed the dash lid. And then after about 7 or 8 minutes, I had like 4 of them made, and I ate them plain. Those are really good. And then I made a piece of chapel, and I did using that particular one. I use the same ultra thin cheese, but I use Swiss cheese, and the Swiss cheese was already, they're squared, so I cut them round to fit the mini dash. And then the other ones there, they were already, what I liked about the provolone cheese, they were already pre-rounded, and they fit perfect on the mini dash. So, and you didn't have to deal with reaching in a bag of cheese and doing it that way. But I got recipes coming up that we will be doing it that way. We're doing a comparison between the two, and when you don't have that cheese, you can use the other cheese, and any cheese will work really. It could be provolone, it could be Parmesan cheese, or mozzarella cheese, goat cheese, cottage cheese, any kind of cheese, whatever floats your boat on cheese. If you got a dairy tolerance in that, then I don't know what to tell you. But I'm very fortunate that, as far as I know, I've never had any problems with dairy or any of that stuff as far as being allergic or allergy goes. So I kind of like, I got an appointment coming up in April with the new doctor. So when I actually make contact with her, I am going to have, I got a list of things I want to have a checkout for me. And one of them is going to be to see whether or not I do have a tolerance for any of the foods like almond flour, that stuff like that. Because if that's what's causing a stall, then I'll do something about it, and won't eat it no more. But yeah, it's going really good. And if I didn't say, the playlist is called Chapel's Full Life, and every day around noontime there'll be a new chapel recipe posted. So be watching for those. And like again, I already got 4 recipes done. Like later today, for instance, I'm going to be making some. They just started coming out with these again at Market Basket, so I bought like four of them. They're really really good. They're called all beef burger patties. They're frozen. There's like 12 of them in a box for like about $15. And I really love those. They're really tasty. And I pop those babies into the air fryer for about 15 minutes, and I flip them on the halfway point. And then I just put whatever I want for toppings on them, right? So then what I do at that point is when I make a chapel, I'll show you how to do the chapel, and I'll put that on, and that'll be my little, like a hamburger bun replacement. And but I was so glad they came out with them, because all winter long they didn't have them. They stopped selling them around November whenever they ran out of the supply of them, because during the winter months the supply and demand wasn't that great. And I tried those Bubba burgers and all that shit. They were part of my language, but I didn't like those. They tasted gross, and they were really chewy. And about 90% of my cooking now lately has been in the air fryer. And I should probably I think probably later on, I'm going to do a whole series of air frying, just recipes on air frying. And they'll be off a low carb. Excuse me. So in the month of April, starting in April, we're going to be doing carnivore for 4 days, doing keto either for 3 days, just something along the idea like that. But the idea of doing carnivore is just like a meat-based diet where you just eat basically meat, no dairy, and very little dairy. You can have eggs. Eggs are not dairy, even though they're found in the egg dairy aisle. And you can have, if you drink coffee, you can have like coffee and tea is permitted. You can have soda if you drink soda, but I drink Diet Coke. It's Coke Zero is my preferred choice for that. And my coffee in the morning, I have a monk fruit, and right now I'm using light cream because I like the light cream, but I do have a thing of heavy cream there. And then I want to start making, since we're getting close to the summer months, I'm going to start making a whole new series of ice cream videos for you guys for low carb to give you an alternative. Last year I made a whole bunch of different ones. I made like strawberry, vanilla, and all those type of ice creams. And I went to Market Basket with Donna, and I opened up the freezer there, and I popped open it. And I didn't open it in the store, but I grabbed the thing of strawberry ice cream from Friendly's, and I love Friendly's ice cream. I took a snapshot of the macros in the back and the ingredients. There was like about 25 different ingredients in the ice cream, and that's why it tastes so good. Because they got sugar, and they got refined sugar, and they got all that junk in there, right, that you don't need. So on my particular video that I did a strawberry, for instance, I took like 3 strawberries. I found that recipe from Joe Duff, the diet chef, by the way, and he's another great YouTuber. And any of the videos that I do, if it's not my own creation, I'll always have the link up there somewhere and down at the show more, so you can actually see that video in case I might have messed up on the recipe. And that's the nice thing about what I'm doing, because I'm editing the video in a program called Filmora 12, which I really like. They got a great ton of music, and they got all the stuff for YouTube that you need on there for subscribers, and the titles and transitions and templates and everything, and free video and photo stock that you can use, and you can do overlays and stuff like that. And it's got AI technology when you're doing it. Like, for instance, I don't have to have this khaki background that I got. It'll just remove the whole background, and you can have a nice fresh background out of a stock video or anything that you might have taken for photography or video on the street. And that's why I love that and that program runs me about $15 a month. It's not that very expensive, but and again, it's all copyrighted free music. And again, if you need music for your videos, YouTube has a great YouTube source. That's a great source for YouTube music. And YouTube is great because you could just go into the your management your YouTube studio, and on the left-hand side, you just look for the music library, and it'll say music audio library, and you just click on that section on the left, and then you just highlight. You just type in the search whatever you're looking for music, and I always credit where I got the source of my music from in my show more. That way, there you can give them credit for them as well, because it's very important that I'm not taking credit for something I didn't do. And that's the way I've always done my videos, even when I was doing volunteer work for the studio. And speaking of which, I'm all done with the studio this year. I'm not doing the studio no more. I was going to do the Colonial Band this year. I've been filming out for the city since 2012, and so that's 12. We are 24, like 12, almost 12 years, and it was free. The only time I ever got paid was when the other director was there doing the studio, and every Christmas and every once in a while when he called me up on a whim that he needed somebody because he couldn't get anybody because they were all tied up, I'd go out and film something, and he'd slip me $100 gift card for Amazon. It wasn't always that much, and I never asked for it, but it was nice when I did get it. When I did film for this other guy, never got a thank you or anything, and I said, no, I'm not doing it no more. I get it's time consuming. When I was doing a concert, it was a 20-hour concert. Our concert was 2 hours, okay? 2.5 hours, basically. You'd have to call up the studio or email them, let them know you need camera gear, ask them what you need, and then they'd set it aside for you. Many times I get home, they forget to put something in the bag, had to go back there and get it. And then if you're out on location and you realize they put the wrong bracket in there, then you're screwed. And then towards the few times when I realized what was going on, I said, "Well, I'm going to have to stand a checklist. I'm going to check this, make sure I got everything." Because and I lived and learned with that. And then, of course, when I'm talking about 20 hours, when I'm doing a 3-hour concert, you're scheduling camera, you got to go down and pick it up, and then that's your travel, and then you bring it home. Then I got to make sure everything's set up before I go on a location. Charge the batteries up because a lot of times the batteries are only charged, and then they give you junk camera crap to use. And then you set up 3 or 4 cameras, which I used to always use a half a dozen cameras or more, and then set them all up all around the perimeter. No help, mind you, running around like a cuckoo clock, and then bringing the camera stuff home, and then wrapping it. And at the end of the night, half an hour, 20 minutes before the concert leaves, 85% of the people would scoot out of there, and you're left holding the bag and putting all that stuff, packing it all up and putting it in your car by yourself. And then you're lugging it all in your house by yourself. And then you got to take it off the camera, set it up in a file folder, and then if you're doing 6 videos like I've done before cameras, you piggyback them, and then you sync all the audio and the video, and that's if you can get it to sync. Okay, and then if it doesn't sync, then you got to do it all manually. So you take each individual little segment and you look for the WAV file and you're syncing up that way. And then you got to put a title up, and then you got to make it for broadcasting, for the studio broadcasting. So. And then you got to play it all back to make sure it works okay, and make sure nothing's draggy with the video and stuff like that. And then put titles in, and put credit in at the end, and put a main title in, and you can see where and then you have quirks with your computer where it just shut down on you, where the program would shut down on you sometimes because you haven't got enough memory on your computer. My computer's maxed out as much memory as I could possibly have, but I've done this for too long without proper compensation. I'm not doing it no more. A typically videographer that does that for a living, they'll get paid about $50 an hour, and I never, I would have liked to have gotten hired from that when the studio director retired. They could have hired me right along, and they didn't. And I said, "Well, you want to hire all young kids? Knock yourself out. See ya." So I was glad when they finally told them I was all done. I felt bad this past year. I did the Leominster Colonial Band Christmas for their concert, and I had to use my iPad because I scheduled out the camera, and then I didn't want it, and then when I asked for it again, they say they already gave it out to somebody, and I said, "Okay, that's it, I'm done." That really made up my mind, and it was the lousiest video I ever recorded, and but things like that happen, and again, because I'm not doing it no more. So I bought this. I'm going to be using this too. This is called you can see it. Put it right here. There we go. This is called My Mini. It's a mini dash. I paid about less than $20 for that at Walmart. So these are pretty. I can get them on Amazon and just about anywhere. I got one of these that makes 4, and they got some that makes 6 or 8 of them at once, and they got one that makes 2. And I also had bought a mini pie dash maker, but the thing got destroyed in that flood last year because I had it downstairs, and so I got to get another one of those. And when I get another one of those, that'll be for a whole new playlist for that. But be watching for those videos there, guys. And like I said, they'll be up there running every day at noontime. And from time to time, I'll jump in and do a live video cooking for you without using those. And they take about 3.5 minutes each to do a shuffle. That's why I like the one that does the 4, because if you make a mess, it's got a little drip thing on each side, so it's going to catch your egg, and you'll have a mess all over your countertop. And I always put a piece of paper towel, or I put a paper plate underneath the mini dash so that don't happen in case they do make a mess, which I got quite often do. And it's recommended that you don't open up your lid until your light goes out, and you'll hear it'll snap out. It's blue when you turn it on, and then when it heats up, it goes out. And then when you make it shuffle, it stays on until it snaps off, and then it's good. Now, what I did one time with the shuffle makers, I was trying to do a different recipe, and I was using a regular waffle maker, and I opened it up about way too soon because it was steaming up and it was going all over the place, and I was afraid to set the smoke alarm off. And they had all kinds of gooey cheese up and all over. It was a heck of a mess, and I'm swearing and everything in the background. It was funny, and I left all that profanity in, and I got it as an outtake, and that'll be coming up on one of the videos coming up for the month of April. It was pretty funny, but. And the old director used to tell me, he said, "Ron," he said, "whenever you're filming there, whenever you're messing up like that," he said, never discard that video because, it's funny, and people like to see funny outtakes like bloops and blunders or something like that. Remember that old TV show they used to have? But, that's what I enjoy doing, and I enjoy helping you guys out to get out there and get healthy. I got another video coming up shortly today. It's I believe it's what I had yesterday for dinner. Um, it's the I made a stir fry yesterday with cube steak for budget friendly. Now money is really tight for me for a month of April, so we're trying to make everything friendly, budgetly friendly, but especially when you're a senior and you're on retirement. So I took some cube steak and I put it in the and I used a deduction cooking and I fried up both sides and put it on the sear setting so I could get a nice good golden crust on it. And then I popped those babies off and I cut them all up into bite-sized pieces for my wife. And then I deglazed the pan and then I put some peppers in it. And then I put those back in. And then I put just a tiny, tiny bit of cornstarch because the cedric gum bothers my stomach. And then I, not enough to make it, worry about, geez, if I'm doing true keto and I can't have cornstarch. I mean, that's the whole thing about keto. You're very restricted on what you can have and what you can't have. So I ended up doing it that way. And I had fresh garlic. I put some garlic in, and that's what I had. I just had that. And side dish, you can have anything you want for a side dish. If you're doing keto or weight loss, try to stay away from potato and that stuff. But you can have like broccoli, rice, cauliflower rice. There's a few different vegetables that you can have that are keto approved, but you just got to know. You got kind of do your own Google search. Maybe I'll do a whole series of videos on what you can have and what you can't have on low carb keto if you're doing true keto. When I started my weight loss journey in August 17, 2020, I was 325 pounds, and then before that, in January, I was 367. So I had lost almost 50 some odd pounds before I actually decided, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do keto. And again, we were going to do the weight loss and all that with the weight loss surgery, but we decided just to trust the faith and, figuring out what would work for me. And I was very vigilant and careful in the ketogenic diet. But, after a while, life altering events getting away and, you fall into these traps where you want to eat something that you're not supposed to have, but you do. And then all of a sudden everything tastes good to you that you used to have that stuff before. And that always gets me in trouble in the past. Now I'm still in a 1X shirt, but from being in it's a 6X. And I'm in a size 38 pants from being in a size 60 pant size. So I'm doing phenomenally well, as far as that goes. I had what kind of like held my weight up over the last 6 months from last year was that surgery I needed. I had done just recently for the hip. And then I was having issues with my hip and everything else and my feet and all that stuff there because I got rid of all my weight by going walking. So in the month of April, also, we're going to do a walking challenge. We're going to try to get walking in every day. And the average goal is going to be 50 miles of walking for the month of April. So we'll see if I can reach that goal. But, like today, it's windy out. It was really windy out last night. I'll be beginning that stinking freaking rain every damn stinking day, it seems lately, right? And don't forget, too, on the 8th of April, we got that eclipse coming up. I got an appointment that morning. I'll be home by the time the eclipse here, and so I'm not going out at all that day. Daughter's got an afternoon appointment. I rescheduled it because I'm I'm not going to play in the thing about that fearmonger about what could happen and what can happen. But in case something does happen, I'm going to be home. And if something does happen, then hey, we're good to go for another day. Sorry about that. But yeah, so that's what we got going on for this month, and yeah, so today I'm going to make some simple frozen burger patties today with that. And and every morning I've been getting up. I've been making breakfast every morning. Hey, I've been doing like 4 sausages and a couple of eggs over easy, or they'll be making those quindillas there. I'm going to start doing some more of those type of things. I bought some tortillas yesterday, and I bought some of those smaller round ones there, the tomato basil ones that I like, and from the Mission Wrap people, and those are really good. Those are low carb keto. Just make sure you be careful and buy the right ones, and not with all the flour and all the other junk. And what else we got going on? Oh yeah, I'm still looking for a job. I talked to my friend Jackie last night. She's a bus driver. She's a bus driver for the people there, for the kids. And I've been searching that, and they happen to have a lot of job openings now. I never did that type of job before, but she said they do train you. They do get a license for you. No cost to me. It's usually around $6,000 to get a license. So I don't know if I'd be happy driving a bus, but I'm going to go down and talk to them to see what, maybe, She said, the only problem is you got to be there early in the morning. I said, well, that's no problem. I'm up every morning at 2:30 anyways. I can't sleep beyond that hour. So I just get up and, take a shower and get ready to head down there and, do the job if they decide to hire me. They are hiring for local drivers, and their starting pay is $28 an hour. She said usually you go in the morning around 5 o'clock and you work. You're doing a split shift. You do like 3 or 4 hours in the morning, and then you go pick the kids up in the afternoon, and then you're done. So you got a little bit of a break in between, and of course during non-school days, like in the summertime, there you don't work, and you just enjoy the summer. They do have summer school busing too. I could probably do that if I wanted to. And they got the other type of buses where they got the van buses where they don't pay quite as much, but like the appointment type van. So I'm definitely going to go down and talk to them next week, and I'm going to go see what they have to say and see if they'll hire me or not. I've been drug free on my entire life, and I got nothing against. I've never been arrested or anything like that. So I could pass the Corey check with no problem, and and I ain't never been into a car accident or anything like that. And so I mean, I got a clean record. I got a great credit report, and there's no reason why they shouldn't be hiring me. She said that they're hiring people really bad. She said, Ron, here's what the problem has been. They hire people like me, and they've been going up to the Boston area because even though they pay $28 an hour, might sound like a lot of money, but that Boston area, they pay like $50 an hour or more, but I don't care about that. I mean, I'm on retirement, and you guys, gals know it's expensive to do groceries nowadays. Over half of my check now or more is going for food shopping, and then I got a big car payment now, and they just got zapped with some excise tax bill for the new car. It's $400 for my excise tax, and that's another car payment I could have made. So, and that eats up my money, and I'm running out of money at the end of the month, and I'm getting tired of it, and plus when they go down to New Hampshire, they go down there 2 or 3 times a week there. I can't afford that. I'm lucky I can go once a month there. And Donna goes once every Friday night there because I volunteer because I can't afford to pay for the both of us. So if I got a job like that, I could probably go a little more often every now and then if I wanted to go. But the goal is to pay off some little crappy bills that I have and just save up some money to, if I want something, I have money for it. If I want to buy some camera stuff, which I still want to get that $1,500 camera, but I can get it now, but I don't want to make a bill for it. It's too, I got to be able to make sure I can pay it back every month without cutting it to so much of our money. But yeah, so that's what we got going on. So I'm gonna let you guys go. I jibber jabbered enough today, but be watching for those videos. And thanks for coming along. Still trying to figure out game night. If I can get to master that like Anne Marie does, we'll definitely be doing that a couple of on nights from what she doesn't do. And be watching for those videos that'll be coming up. And then I got that other premiere coming up later today. But anyways, you have an amazing Easter. You have an amazing day. And try not to have too many carbs if you can, if you're doing weight loss, But enjoy your day. And thank you for coming along. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.